Welcome back. Let's bring you some more now from last night's Champions League action. The league phase is over with all 6 English teams still in the competition. So how would you grade your team's performances so far? Our Sky Sports News reporters have been doing just that.
8 games, 8 wins for Arsenal in the Champions League group stage. The most goals scored, the least goals conceded. Their rating has to be an A+. Mikel Arteta's stacked squad is definitely paying off this season, and he'll be absolutely delighted with wins that they picked up in the San Siro, Inter Milan, and against Bayern Munich at home as well, when they were one of the most informed teams in Europe. A+ for Arsenal.
It's relatively straightforward to grade Liverpool's Champions League campaign. It has to be an A-. It can't be any less than that, given the fact that they finished 3rd in the Champions League standings and the fact that they've been able to take all 3 points at home against Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, as well as beating Marseille away from home and Inter Milan away from home. It can't be more than an A-, though, because, of course, there was that upset here at Anfield against PSV Eindhoven, where they lost by 4-1. So there is an element of could do better in that. At the same time, it's very much a case of job done, job well done in many respects, and Liverpool have given themselves a good foundation as they move forward now into the round of 16.
Tottenham Hotspur through in 4th place to the last 16. Extraordinary. At home, exemplary. Played for, won for, yet to concede a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The highlight being that dismantling of Borussia Dortmund a week ago. Unquestionably their best performance of the season. Away from home, a bit of a mixed bag. Rescued a point in the Arctic Circle against Bode. Completely outplayed by Monaco, but somehow came away from there with a point. Actually played quite well against Paris Saint-Germain, but ultimately outclassed by the European champions in a bonkers game at the Parc des Princes. And tonight, a professional, efficient job to get over the line with the squad down to its bare bones. Away from home, a B-. At home, can only be an A+. Overall, averages out at an A- so far for Tottenham in the Champions League. A dismal Premier League campaign being salvaged by a great run in Europe. Sound familiar?
Well, it's job done for Chelsea. They're there in the top 8. Their home form, beating everybody who came, that 100% record, Barcelona as well along the way. So that's an A, but their away form, sketchy. They did, though, what they had to do here in this difficult place. They got the win that they required. So because of that, I'm going to give the away form C. So overall for Chelsea, this Champions League campaign so far, a B.
Whilst Manchester City passed their final exam, they only just about managed it, and they did fail some pretty straightforward assignments along the way, notably losing against Bayer Leverkusen and also up in Bode. But it's still a big improvement on last season, when they only just scraped into the playoff round, when ultimately they were eliminated. So for Pep Guardiola and his team, it means 2 fewer matches in February, which is a huge boost when you consider this injury-ravaged squad is still competing on 4 fronts, both at home and in Europe. They'll have to play a lot better to win it. Overall grade, C-.
I would give Newcastle a B, a grade B, for their efforts in the Champions League group stage. There's been some good performances, particularly at home, but they've just missed out on a place in the top 8 by a point. And they gave it everything here in the Parc des Princes against PSG tonight, and probably deserved to win. So it's glorious failure, if you like. However, they do continue in the competition. Eddie Howe has just cited the Marseille game when they were 1-0 up and lost as a real sort of turning point, and also Leverkusen where they were ahead and drew. And one of those games, just turning in their favour, getting a point, could have made all the difference for Newcastle. But it's been solid, and they'll be happy to get through. So I think a B would be a good grading for what Newcastle have done this season in the Champions League.